Contact Part 1. Once again, Hiranyakashipu entered into a discussion on God with his son and, dissatisfied with his continued devotion to Sri Vishnu, decided again to kill his son. He was thrown into the ocean, bound hand and foot. With every movement of Sri Prahlada, the ocean became turbulent and water rose on all sides. There was a deluge on earth. Hiranyakashipu called the Daityas to his side and said, "O Daityas, bring all the mountains on earth and create a barrier round the ocean so that my wicked son cannot get outside the ocean. Fire does not kill this boy, he is not wounded by any of the weapons, wind, poison, devils, magic, falls from heights, and even the Digajas could not kill him. So, let him remain in water for thousands of years together and then he will die." The Daityas and Danavas brought mountains and dropped them over Sri Prahlada lying inside the ocean. The mountains lay spread over thousands of miles. Lying thus in the ocean, the pious boy prayed to Sri Mahavishnu and the latter appeared before him and granted him boons. Escaping from the ocean, Sri Prahlada went to his father and prostrated before him. Hiranyakashipu was astounded to see him alive and, taking him in his arms, embraced him and, with tears rolling down his cheeks for having tortured him so far, asked him, "My son, you are still alive, are you not?" After that, he started treating him as his son. Chapter 20, Amsa 1, Sri Vishnu Purana. But as days went by, Hiranyakashipu got wild again. He could not bear his son's increasing devotion to Sri Vishnu. He hated to hear Sri Prahlada's chanting of Vishnu's name, and so one day, while Sri Prahlada was repeating his chantings of Sri Vishnu's name, Hiranyakashipu jumped up from his seat with sword in his hand and asked Sri Prahlada where his Vishnu was. Sri Prahlada, very calmly, replied that Sri Vishnu was present everywhere, even in stones, trees or the pillars of the palace. Hiranyakashipu, in uncontrollable rage, struck the nearest pillar with his sword. Then, to the shocking surprise of Hiranyakashipu, Sri Mahavishnu, in the form of a fierce man-lion, Sri Narsimha, jumped out from the pillar. The figure was terrifying to look at. It had fiery eyes, a dagger-like tongue with blood oozing from it, shaggy neck with trembling eyebrows, 2 teeth, one on each side curved like the crescent moon, a black face inside a cave-like heap of manes, hair strong and pointed like diamond needles, nails white and cup-like, and a body as bright and brilliant as 1,000 crores, 10 billion, of suns. Only Sri Prahlada could stand before the figure and look at it. The man-lion, Sri Narsimha, jumped on the body of Hiranyakashipu and, tearing open the belly of Hiranyakashipu, took the bloody intestines out and, wearing it round its neck, performed a dance. Everything happened in no time, and the Sri Narsimha, changing into the form of Sri Mahavishnu, blessed Sri Prahlada and then disappeared. 7th Skanda Srimad Bhagavatam. When Hiranyakashipu was killed, Sri Prahlada was crowned as emperor of the demons in Patal, world under the earth. At that time, once, Chaivana, a sage, went to Nagakuleshwar Tirtha to bathe in the river Narmada. He saw Sri Mahadeva there. When he entered the waters of the river, a serpent Kekaralohita by name bit him and took him to Patal. Sage Chaivana meditated on Sri Vishnu when he was bitten by the serpent, and so he was not affected by the poison of the serpent. He therefore roamed about in Patal, accepting the hospitality of the serpent maidens. Traveling thus, he reached the land of the Danavas. He was worshipped by the Daityas there, and Sri Prahlada, finding an ascetic of great saintliness, honored and worshipped by his people, received him with respect and worshipped him and inquired about him. Sage Chaivana said, "I came today to see Nagakuleshwar and bathe in the Narmada river. But as soon as I entered the river, I was caught by a serpent and was brought to Patal. I was, thus, able to see you." Hearing the words of sage Chayavana, the lord of the Daityas said, "O Bhagwan, which are all the sacred tirthas, holy places, of the earth, which are in the heavens and which all in Patal? Please do enlighten us." Sage Chayavana replied, "Mighty king, Nimisha is the best of all tirthas, holy places, on earth, Pushkara in the heavens and Chakra Tirtha in Patal." The Daitya emperor turned to the Danavas and said, "Make all preparations immediately. We must go to earth to bathe in the holy Tirtha, Nimisha. We can then see Sri Pundarikaksha, lotus-eyed, Sri Vishnu sitting there as Sri Pitambara, robed in yellow." Hearing this, Danavas with heavy equipment started from Patal with their king to the earth. All the mighty Danavas reached the forest of Nimisha and after bathing in the holy pond there, went for hunting. During their wanderings they found the river Saraswati flowing with crystal-like water. On the shore of the same, they saw a pine tree covered with arrows. The arrows were sticking to it, one above another. The arrows looked like serpents and the gruesome sight roused Sri Prahlada's anger. Near that tree, sat two ascetics wearing the hide of black deer and matted hair on their heads. By their side were two divine bows, Saranga and Ajagava with two never-empty quivers. Sri Prahlada mistook them for two fake sannyasins, sages, and therefore, questioned them, thus, "Why are you thus falsely trading on virtuousness? What connection is there between matted hair and penance and weapons of such supreme quality?" Then, one of the sages, Srinara, said, "King of Daityas, why do you think like that? If one is powerful, whatever one does will be right." Sri Prahlada jeered and said, "When I, who have fixed limits for virtue and righteousness, am here, what power can you wield?" Srinara replied, "O king, our ability is really supreme. There is nobody in the three worlds to conquer us in a fight." Sri Prahlada got furious on hearing the boasting of the sage and took a vow thus, "Immediately, I will fight and win against Sri Narayana." Then, the great Sri Prahlada, keeping aside his army in the forest, took his bow and made a thundering noise with it. At once, Srinara took his Ajagava bow and showered arrows on Sri Prahlada with it. But Sri Prahlada broke them all with his gold-plated matchless arrows. Srinara got angry when he found all his arrows broken to pieces so easily by Sri Prahlada, and he sent different kinds of arrows in quick succession. But the Daitya king replied with astonishing rapidity. For one arrow of Srinara the Daitya sent two and the fight became grim. Srinara covered the whole world above with arrows and the Daitya emperor smashed them all to pieces by his gold-plated ones. More Part 3.